Okay, so now I want to tell you. Okay, so actually I want to put this back to how I had it. So choices, and I'm going to put this back to choices. Okay, I'm going to run this. Okay, so typically, it's good practice if you have a multiple choice exam to have different versions where the answers have different. Well, like there's different and like there's the answer choices are ordered. You know, like let's say I were to have, you know, a multiple choice exam. I might want to have two versions, and one the correct answer would be answer choice C, and the other one would be answer choice A or whatever. Okay, and then the other ones you want mixed up as well. So one kind of bad way to do this is just to make two different versions of this exam. So you'd have two files like test 1 version A, test 2 version B. And then for maybe this is what you would have for test 1 version A, and then for test 2 version B, you're just going to come in and kind of like randomly reorder things like this. And you do this for every question. Now, there's several things that I don't like about this. One, huge possibility to just completely screw this up, to put the same answer twice, to accidentally delete the answer. Just there's so many mistakes, so many possibilities to make mistakes. Two, you have to have two different documents. You have to have test 1 document, test 1 version A, test 2 version B, test 1 version A, test 1 version B, test 1 version C, test 1 version D, and so on and so forth. Whereas I just want to have everything like one document, and then I just compile it differently to get, a different answer choice order to compile it whether I either have the answers or not. So I'm going to show you in this video how we can automatically randomize the exam, randomize the order, and then how we can kind of have, one document with different randomized orders. So if that doesn't make sense, just give me a minute. So we're going to come up here, and I'm using this package called Exam Randomize Choices. You might have seen it before. I might have mentioned it in the first video. Whoops, I don't know if I did or not. But you use this package, Exam Randomize Choices. Okay, and over here, again, the name of the environment is very intuitive. It's Randomized Choices. So Randomized Choices. Randomized Choices. Okay, and now when I compile this is going to be in a different order, unless it just, there's a 1/4 chance that this is still going to be answer choice B. But when I recompile this, notice the answer choice is now D. Okay, now notice what happens if I recompile it right now. It doesn't change anything. So if I recompile it again, it doesn't change anything. Okay, now the reason that it does that is because the seed for the random number generation algorithm is based on your system time, which now is 2:30. It was 2:29, it was 2:30. And I think it's just based on the minute. So I think if I recompile this now, so maybe I need to wait a little bit longer. So the point is that you're not going to necessarily get a different set of answers every single time you recompile. If you recompile within a minute, it's going to stay the same, or it could potentially stay the same. If you wait for longer than a minute, it's definitely going to be different. If you do it before a minute, it might be the same, it might not be the same. So I guess the system time is probably the overleaf time here. So we'll wait here until it says 2:31. I'll pause. Okay, so now when I recompile, this should be a different answer. Okay, and it is. It's up here to A. Okay, very intuitive. Let's say we have something like one of our choices is none of the above. Now clearly, so it put it in the right spot. Hold on one second, I need to wait another minute. Okay, so I recompile it and I have this. Now, this clearly makes no sense because this is no longer above, it's at the very top. And if I recompile it again, it'd probably be in the middle somewhere. Okay, so what do you do in a case like this? You come over here and there's an optional argument here, which is called keep last. Okay, so now if I run it, this is always going to be at the bottom, and it's only going to be these that get randomized and those that get switched around. Okay, So, but now how does this, so this handles the problem of having an easy way to have different versions. But what if I write the exam today and whatever exam choices I have today, I want those exam choices to be there tomorrow. So in other words, what I'm saying is, I want, again, so this, like I said, what I've shown you so far handles how we can have randomize the exam choices. But now I also want to show you how we can just do all of this randomization with only one document. And so now what the problem is, since we're randomizing things, like version A today, version A compiled today is not going to be the same as version A compiled tomorrow or another day or just like a minute from now. So how can we somehow consistently randomize the exam choices? And this is when we use the set randomizer seed command. So set randomizer seed. Okay, now we're going to set the randomizer seed, and I'm going to say it's going to be equal to 100. So this is the seed for the random number generator. Like I said, it by default it takes in your time. It takes in whatever your time is as the randomizer seed. But now we're going to overwrite that, and the randomizer seed is going to be 100. Now, I don't know how the randomizer algorithm works. Doesn't matter. We're just going to get a different random number sequence generated if we start with 100. So if I recompile this, I'll get something like this. And notice it doesn't matter how long I wait. So I'll wait until that says 2:36. I'll pause this and wait till the time says 2:36 and do it again. Okay, so now remember what this are when I recompile, or what these are when I recompile. It's the same exact order because I have a different randomizer seed here. Okay, so let's say I set it to 101. We're going to get something different. Okay, so here's how I handle this. So I'm going to make some new commands. The first one is going to be version A. So this is also showing us how to make new commands. So the name of the command is going to be version A. Whoops. The name of the command is going to be version A. Hold on a second. Where am I going here? The name of the command is going to be version A. This is the seed for version A. So let's say 100 is the seed for version A. And then I'll put in 176. Doesn't matter. It's going to be the randomizer seed for version A. And now I'm going to do this. And so now what's going to happen? It doesn't matter when I compile this. You know, as long as these 100 and 176, as long as those numbers stay the same, then whenever I put version A there and recompile, I'm going to get the same order no matter what. So now this is great. I could have two different versions. Like I have all of the information that I need for all versions and the solutions in this one document here, and then I just will recompile, and I'll have, you know, my version A copy. I'll name that PDF test1 version A and things like that, and then I'll make version B the randomizer seed, recompile, download that PDF, name it test1 version B, and so on and so forth. And so now you have one document that you're working with. Because if you have multiple documents and you realize you need to change a question on this document, you're going to have to change it on the other documents. Not only that is that a pain, but there's so many opportunities to screw that up and only change it on one or change it differently or something along those lines. And so I'm a firm believer in making things as simple as you possibly can. I am very prone to making careless errors, which is one of the things I do, which is one of the reasons that I do things like this. The other thing is that this is just sort of something that I do. So I will actually not call it version A and version B because I'm worried that I'm going to change those numbers. Like I might accidentally change that to 103 without knowing it. So I will actually do something like this. So I'll do this. Hank Aaron will be one of my randomizer seeds, and I'll do 755 for that because he had 755 home runs. I'll do Pete Rose for 1, and for him I'll do 4,256. You know, stuff like that, because that's how many hits he had. Whoops. You know, it might make more sense to do something like, anniversary, and then I could do, 2009 because that's when we got married, and things like that. Just because I know I can double check, okay, Hank Aaron is always going to be 755, Pete Rose is always going to be 4,256, and anniversary is always going to be 2009, and things like that. So now I know it's sort of a double check for me. That's kind of overkill just because I'm very good at making careless errors, and somehow I might be doing something and accidentally hit this, and I'm like, well, wait, hold on a second. Nope, I know it needs to be 755. Okay, again, clearly I can mess this up, but this is just one way that I can kind of, it's one check that I can have. Not that it's foolproof, I could still mess it up. Okay, I think I'm going to show you one more exam thing, and then after that I'll show you how we can have sort of switch gears and show you how we can have LaTeX in Jupyter, which has nothing to do with exams, but it's helpful.